Good afternoon. Beautiful spring day out there today. It was good to be back on the practice field. Only one more opportunity for us before Saturday's spring game, which we're all looking forward to. Dante Ayers, I think, has a high ankle sprain, so we've probably seen the last of him for the spring. He'll be fine long term, but it was good to have the extra practice time with him because he enrolled early this semester. Miles will be fine. His situation is nothing that'll be long term. I think he'll be back on Thursday. And I thought it was a really spirited practice. I thought we got a lot of good work in. I thought we got all the quarterbacks some reps, significant reps, which one of the goals I had for the day was to do that. Questions?
What's left to accomplish?
I think we just continue to see how we're going to set the depth chart at different positions. We tried some different people at some different positions on the offensive line today. We tried Keith Lumpkin at left tackle. We tried Taj Alexander at right tackle. Just to move the pieces around a little bit. I thought that was warranted based on performance. I'm excited about where they have gone. Chris Muller has done a lot to impress us, I think, this spring. Certainly not ready yet, but has earned the right to be in the conversation. In the running back depth, which is not much at all, I think Desmond Peoples has earned the right to this point, for us to make an effort to see how many times he's going to touch the ball a game. I've been excited about what he's done. I think he still has some things to learn about the offense as a whole. I thought Savon had his best day today, which was fun to watch that. It was he looked good out there running around today. And I think on the defensive line, we've got some guys still fighting for depth positions, and certainly in the secondary, that's a situation that probably won't be completely settled until training camp.
Did anything stand out initially at offensive line with changes? Caleb working inside again, or anything pop out watching?
Nothing on the field. I think we have to look at it on the tape. It happens fast. Caleb Johnson, we did try him at left guard today to see how he would look. And Caleb's a good player, so I think he'll be able to play in there. But it was the first time he's done it since probably when he first got here in training camp. So there'll be a little bit of a transition period, and we'll see if that's where he ends up staying long term. But really, most of it we'll have to evaluate it on film.
Is that maybe more of a natural position for him, the guard?
I don't know that. I mean, he was since he's been here, he's played tackle. I think he's done a good job for us. I don't know that there is a natural position. I think maybe because of his height, you might say that. But Jeremy Zuta and Pedro Sosa were both 6'3.5", so when they went to the combine. So I don't know that necessarily there's always a height restriction in college.
Kyle, is that more of a vote of confidence than for Lumpkin, if you would consider moving Caleb inside?
I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet, but I think he's earned the right to be in the conversation. And I think now we got to move the pieces around a little bit to figure out who's going to be the best five, and try to set that depth chart up as we go into training camp. Because once you get to training camp, you only have 2 weeks, and then you got to get ready for game-specific situations and schemes. So we can't leave it all till August. So we're going to try and steal a couple days here during spring to get ahead of that.
But would he be the guy in Lump, or would another tackle competing for that if Caleb had to go to guard?
Well, there's other guys in the conversation. You got Keith Lumpkin right now. You've got Caleb Johnson. You got Andre Civil. You got Taj Alexander. You got J.J. Denman. So I think we have 5 players. We got to figure out who are the best 5 linemen, and then from there, who are going to be the 2 players that are going to play tackle.
What have you seen out of Taj? I mean, he can play both guard and tackle, and is there one you kind of like a bit more better?
Not yet. We played Taj at tackle early on when we moved him over, and then we ended up settling in with him at guard. When RJ came last year. It's really just a matter of trying to get the 5 best on the field. I think Taj, from a skill set, can do both for us.
Kyle, T.J. Johnson hasn't practiced in a couple of days. How's he?
I think he'll be okay for the spring game.
Have you seen everything you wanted to out of the younger receivers like Carlton and Ruhan?
When you ask if I've seen everything I wanted to, I don't know that any coach would ever tell you that they have. I think I've seen those players improve. I think we've got a long way to go as a football team, and not just those 2. But I think we've got a long way to go as a football team to be ready to play Fresno State in the opener next year.
So is there something specific from them that you haven't seen yet that you're looking for in the spring game?
I wish there was only one thing that I could comment on. I think when you're talking about younger players, it's everything. It's all the details of their position, from getting off the ball efficiently to the top of the route, being technically sound at the top of the route and the breaks and coming out of the breaks full speed and then catching the ball. And then after you catch the ball, puncturing the defense. So there's so many aspects to playing that position. You can't perfect them in a spring. Nobody perfects them, or nobody gets to a high level of efficiency in just one spring. So we've got a long way to go.
Got time for two more?
Did you get a chance to do the rosters yet for the spring game?
I have not done the rosters for the spring game yet. We do have some concerns about the running back depth. I talked to Jason on the way in here, and he told me that Ray and Brian and Juwan would be here for the spring game. So I think they're going to help us a little bit with the depth, and then we'll be okay as we get into the game.
Who started?
I don't know if they'll be the starters.
Besides Waters, can you talk about the safety position, what you've seen?
Do I have to leave Lorenzo out of the conversation? I like talking about Lorenzo.
Well, exactly. We know what he's done on the field.
Lorenzo hasn't been able to hit because of his finger, but I think Lorenzo has showed us last year he could be a good player for us at this level. And I think Jeremy has really improved, from practice 1 all the way through practice 13 today. And I don't see any reason why that progress would cease. I think is even one of the main things I think for any football team is to make sure when spring practice ends, that point until the start of training camp, that you're a better football team. If you come back the first day of training camp, the same team you left spring practice, then you didn't do a good enough job in the offseason. You didn't do a good enough job in your summer program. And those are things that have to be player-driven. And I think Jeremy will be one of those players, as an older player on our team, that will drive that process. And because of that, we'll be a better team when we come back in August, and Jeremy will be a better player.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
The Rice kid has a chance.
I think so.
Atlanta kid's